Hello, family and friends. Today I want to talk about being true to yourself as a path to healing. I'm Jen, and today and every day we talk about my quest to crush aggressive, diffuse, large B-cell lymphoma, DLBCL, stage 4. And we're using the R-EPOCH immunotherapy, chemotherapy to crush non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Let's get into it. So we're going to start with a quote. Healing may not be so much about getting better as letting go of everything that isn't you. All of the expectations, all of the beliefs, and becoming who you are. And that quote's from Rachel Naomi Remen. So let's break it down. I'll share my thoughts with you. How's that? So it's been my experience, and I've done this a bit, and I've been on the other end, that in some senses healing is a selfish exercise. Now, that's not to say it doesn't take other folks and help and love and support. And of course, I've been incredibly fortunate to have lots of love and support. I can't thank you all enough. But there is an aspect of healing that is selfish, in my opinion. You have to focus in. You need to know yourself, and you need to listen to what's the right thing to do, to listen if something doesn't feel right so you can discuss it with your doctor or whomever is appropriate. And I think this is true if it's a physical ailment like cancer, could be pregnancy, could be a mental issue, right? I'm not feeling loved, or I'm not feeling, I have whatever the concern is. In order to heal, it's a somewhat selfish exercise to look inside yourself and focus on what you need. But that's the way you have to do it. And even to expound, I think there was a section that said expectations, right? And often, at least my experience again, and I think I've made this comment before, not unlike pregnancy, folks feel compelled. And I think it's in the best of intentions. They share with you what they believe will help you in some way. So if it was the case of, a mental issue, they're giving you tips for how to overcome anxiety, which may or may not work for them, or maybe they heard it works and they've never tried it themselves. Or in the case of cancer, only eat green vegetables. Don't eat any, processed sugar. Only, drink this or don't drink that. There's all kinds of tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. And anecdotally, it may have worked for folks, and maybe it does work, right? Because, medically, we don't know everything for sure. And often we separate Eastern and Western medicine when we should really be combining them. Because I think they both have some validity, and both have worked for many, many years to some extent. In any case, that's just Jen's personal opinion. So, but often folks give you suggestions or recommendations that sometimes we have to ignore because they don't fit us. They don't feel right. As one example, I know that this didn't happen this time because my liver was engaged. But the last time I had cancer, my doctors and nurses used to be like, you should go out for a drink this weekend. You earned it. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm under medical treatment. I'm not feeling great. Why would I go drinking? But it was their way of saying, do something that makes you feel good. Now, they didn't know that I don't really drink all that much, and that's not really an enticement per se. But if you had told me, go home and have, a bucket of chocolate or whatever that thing is that makes me feel good, even if it's not good for you, that was their message. Do things that make you feel good. Don't worry so much about good for you. Right now, we're beating your body, and it's not going to make a difference, probably. And, at the end of the day, that's probably true. Now, there have been other studies, I'll just mention, they were talking about outcomes on cancer patients. And what they did find was that folks that didn't have raw food or salads or, what we consider to be healthy food in their diet had worse outcomes than folks that did. And so there's certainly something to be said for that because we're feeding our body nutritious food. But do you have to eat it all the time? No. You can eat foods that are comforting, right? And this is a time to be comforted. But going back to the quote in my comments. I kind of went off on a tangent, and I apologize. In order to heal, you need to be true to yourself. You need to listen to you, to your noodle, to your body, and find the right path to healing. Now, that's not to say you're not going to take the doctor's help or the psychiatrist or the psychologist's help if it's a noodle issue, for guidance, or a social worker or whomever can help you. But the path is true, right? You can't do what other people tell you to do and make it all better. You have to find the right path for yourself. And I guess also, traditional medicine is going to help us to some extent, right? If I didn't take the chemotherapy and muscle through this treatment, then it's likely that I would still have lymphoma, no matter what I ate or drank, right? So, and regardless of what I believed in my heart or my brain, that, I needed that not traditional, but I guess we could call it traditional medicine, or poison, as I like to call it, to kick lymphoma. And I'm very hopeful that I did. But we won't know that for another month and a half. So fingers crossed, double fingers crossed. Arms, legs, toes, whatever I got to cross. All right. So that's my thought for today. What do you think? Do you think that seems reasonable, that you have to be true to yourself to find the path to healing of whatever your ailment is? That we should ignore others' expectations and focus on what works for us? I think so. I think it's a pretty realistic quote. So overall, it is another good day. So this is, if I'm counting right, 3 days in a row that I've had pretty good days, and I am quite grateful. I'm tired. We had, Hoff went to the doctor today and he got his shot. So that was kind of a long field trip for us. To me, it was a little tiring, but not the end of the world. But, when you primarily stay home all day, going out for some amount of hours is a bit of an effort. All right, angel delivery. No angel delivery, but I would like to give a shout out and a big old happy birthday to my nephew, who, if I remember correctly, has just turned the age where he can obtain his driver's license in the state in which he lives. Now, I don't know when he scheduled it, or if he scheduled that test, or if he's got all his permit hours and all that other stuff. I don't even know if their laws are the same as ours here in our state. So I'm not sure if he has requirements like my boys did with 6 hours of this and 10 hours of that and all that kind of thing. In any case, it's kind of an exciting time. He's finishing up his junior year in high school and going into his senior year next year, and he's killing it. He's obtaining college credit as well as high school credit, and he's on his way to a fabulous future, and we love him. And I guess I would mention that even if he wasn't killing it, even if he was just getting by, it wouldn't matter to us. We would still love him because we don't love our kids or our nieces and nephews because of their grades. We're super proud of them when they do well, and we're still proud of them when they don't do well. It's okay. That's not what that's not what it's about. And which I tell my children quite regularly. Some listen better than others. I'll just say that one of my children was worked up about a pretty good grade, what most people would consider to be a good grade. And I was like, listen, dude, I'm okay. You work as hard as you want, focus as much as you want, but I really don't care if you get, a B+ or an A-. That makes no difference to me. I don't love you any less or more because of that grade or any other grade. And I would send that same message to my nephew. In any case, we wanted to send you a big happy birthday from our state to yours. We hope you're doing well. And we'll hope to see you soon. Happy birthday. Enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. On my doctor news, no luck moving my COVID vaccine. So right now it's still scheduled for Sunday. Dun, dun, dun. That's the way it goes. I think I'm just going to talk to my doc on Monday. Hopefully it doesn't knock me down or make me feel bad. And I'll talk to him on Monday, let him know that I got the shot, and then we'll make a decision about when the PET scan can be. I don't even know, honestly, if I'm going to get the approval from the insurance company that quickly. So it could be that it won't matter that I had this shot at the beginning of the month because I might not be able to get cleared till the middle of June or something. So we'll see what happens. All right, so let's look at the to-do list, huh? Ta-da! What did we do today? What we did today, I worked. I worked on my goals. Yesterday I did pretty well on my goals. I think I missed one. Believe it or not, it was my steps. I think I came in at like 73 or 7,400 instead of 8,000. I was like, So I would have made it if I left my goal at 7,000, but that's the way it goes. I just didn't pay attention and I missed it. That was on me. I had a robotics call. It was pretty good. I think I thought I was having two, but one of them got canceled. I mentioned already that I took off to the doctor and he got his second COVID vaccine shot. So in 2 weeks, he'll be cleared. He'll be fully, I don't think cleared is the right term. I think they call it fully vaccinated. As a side note, Sam is going tomorrow for his first shot. I think he's getting Moderna, if I remember correctly. And Bob is still not on board here. I think I told you guys already. He's like, I don't have to go anywhere. I could just stay in the basement. I don't need to interact with anybody. I was like, I really don't want that to be your life forever, that you hide out in the basement because you don't want to get COVID. But for now, he's focusing on school and his applications for master's degree. So I'm just going to leave him alone and we'll work on the vaccine later if he wants to get it. I'm not going to, they're grown-ups or grown-ups in training, however you want to consider it. So I'll let them make their decisions. Story time! Maybe I can find that storybook so you know it's story time. All right, so 2 or 3 times last night, massive alarm went off. And I say massive, it was like one of those blaring, chirpy, loud things. At first we thought it was upstairs and we were like, why aren't the boys getting upstairs? And then I thought maybe it was a new freezer because I couldn't remember ever hearing the alarm before. So I got up and looked at the new freezer. Nothing going on there. And I mentioned that because the old freezer used to alarm a lot. Then, I don't know if it was the first time or the second time, I opened the basement door and it was definitely coming from downstairs. Like it was loud when I opened the door. But by the time I got down the steps, it wasn't blaring anymore. So I looked around. I looked at the pump for the bathroom. I looked at the water heater. I looked at the furnace. I looked at the sump pump, which never even works, so I don't know that it would alarm. I looked at anything that could alarm, basically, and the smoke alarm. Nothing was blinking red or any other color. Everything had green lights on it. Nothing was blinking particularly. I'm like, I got no idea. So I went back upstairs. I left all the doors open, to the sub rooms and so forth. Storage rooms. I went back upstairs and I lay down and I don't know, an hour and 45, 2 hours later, Bill's banging on me again. It's alarming. So I get up, we go downstairs. It stops before I get there. I look at every single thing that has an alarm on it. Nothing. This happened 2 or 3 times. Sad face, because you know how important my 7 hours of sleep is. So the boys spend all day downstairs. So we were just, once they get up. So, I was like, I can't find it because by the time I get down there, there's nothing alarming. It didn't help the fact that every time I woke up from sleeping. So we're like, well, they're going to be down there all day. They'll hear it and then they could tell us where it's coming from and then we can investigate. No. Did not alarm again once they got up and went downstairs. It was like 3 times overnight and then it just stopped for the whole day. If it starts tonight, I'm going to be beside myself. If I had air, I would pull it out. Okay. So that's the end of story time for that story time. And then finally, I got quite a bit of charity miles. I had a meeting at work where I wasn't on my computer and I just paste like a crazy woman. Boom. Good charity miles. And it didn't drop the recording. So that was all lucky. So let's look at our charity miles for today. We still have a team of 19. If you'd like to join our team, you're more than welcome to do so. There's a link down below in the description. Collectively, we have moved 2,409 miles. Holy schmolies. And here is our team name. If you just want to download the Charity Miles app, look for this team name and you can join us. Pretty exciting. Great job, everyone. All right, so let's move on to my to-do list. So to-do, must-do for tomorrow is work and my goals list. Don't think I have anything else on my list right now for my to-do must. I guess, that's not true. We have to break down the cardboard, but I don't think that's on my list. I think Bill's doing that. Fingers crossed. Unless he has side effects from the shot. And then my to-do would love to do remains the same as yesterday. Crochet, purchase the items for my studio, and investigate the SEO tool that would work for me. And I guess I'm going to add another, which I don't think is going to happen tomorrow, but might happen on Saturday, which would be to paint my nails because they are starting to break off. Still have chemo nails to some extent. All right, so that is the end of story time for today. So if you just came for story time, thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you tomorrow. Love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it. See you tomorrow.